further. In fact, I can't say anything further about the case, and the case is obviously over. Hank,
Right here. Hi.
right here, can answer any specifics that he wants to, that you may have any questions about. And then this gentleman here, Robert F. Nelson, has something he wants to say. So right now, what I'm going to do, now that all of this is over, is begin to focus on what is actually a pretty significant health challenge that I haven't paid as much attention to in the last year or so that I should have. But anyway.
Just your reaction, though, relieved? I mean, you said in front of the judge this has been a gut-wrenching process. So
I think you asked me that actual question last on Monday.
right now that you hear the sentence, though, you're not going to be.
It is a relief. For the whole thing to be over is a total relief. One day there may be additional details about the case come to light and so forth, which I think you'll find very interesting at that time. But please don't sit on my doorstep in the next week to try to find out, because I'm not going to be able to do it then.
Do you think he did anything wrong?
Yes, I think and I take full responsibility for those counts to which I have pled. That's my duty, to take that. One of my considerations in this was that once I knew for certain that those photos and those letters belong to the city, now I know that. To go to trial, I would have had to sit there and either tell the judge and the jury either that they belong to the city, or sit there and put up some bogus defense for something that I knew wasn't the case. And I will not lie and cannot lie under oath. I just simply won't do it.
Do you believe those are the only 20 items you ended up with that belong to the city?
Yes, I do.
Mayor, you mentioned the
No,
health
I can't get into the
situation.
case. Huh?
You
Help?
mentioned your health situation coming up. What exactly is coming up that you were referring to?
Well, it was about last February, I guess it was, February or March. I go through all these tests. In fact, my next round of tests is 10 days from now. And they measure, amongst other things, your PSA level, your prostate-specific antigen levels, which give you an idea of what the cancer's doing. It's metastatic cancer. It's already left the prostate years ago, and it's spreading throughout my body, and it's eventually going to turn into, most likely, bone cancer, because 95% of these cancers eventually manifest themselves that way, and that's end stage. About a year ago, the PSA count came in very dramatically high. That alarmed my doctor, which then alarmed me. So he wasn't sure it was a valid test. Anyway, we ran a whole bunch of additional tests 30 days later, and the count had almost doubled in a month. So the cancer had come roaring back. That's an understatement. And so, of course, they started a bunch of treatments. They just added some more stuff to me this month, as a matter of fact, for these injections that they give me. So it's a challenge, and the side effects of the medications are sometimes pretty pronounced as well.
Are you saying you're not getting better? You're getting worse?
I'm not getting better. That's correct. And I'm not sure that there's any way to it, but we'll find out. Maybe with a clinical trial or something.
Thank you, guys.
If you could just tell us what the exact punishment is. Probation, I think we just need clarification.
It's probation, it's supervised probation, a fine of $2,000, court costs, which we understand are fairly nominal, and then also once he makes those payments, he'll be eligible potentially to terminate probation shorter than the 2 years on which it's now imposed, 2-year probation.
You said during your statement, that's not the story. What's not the story?
I didn't say
What is
that.
the story?
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah. We're not getting into any more
He's going
stories
to,
today.
He's going to lecture me later about
Yeah,
why
I probably
should
will.
not have said that.
What's going to be the process like for returning these artifacts?
They have the 20 items to which he pled guilty, and the AG's office, presumably very soon, will return those items to the city.
As they should.
Right.
How many are you trying to get back from?
All the others we're trying to get back. Everything else they took from Mr. Reed's house is his property, and we are going to continue efforts to get those back to Mr. Reed.
You know about how many?
Well, they took 1,871 items, I believe, is what the search said, so minus 20.
That's the March hearing, correct?
Correct, that's the March hearing.
How many?
1,871. I could be off on one or two.
It's safe to say you're a collector and you're passionate about it, and some people say that it became an obsession and the city was harmed as a result when it came to acquiring artifacts for the museum. So how would you respond to that?
I would say that that is not true. Mr. Nelson, do you have anything you want to say?
I would say that the outcome of this case and Steve's decision on how he thought it would be best disposed of is nothing other than a testament to his integrity, quite frankly. That he stood up when he realized that and came forth with the items. So that in no way impacts what Steve did for the city. I, like some of you, was here back in the 70s and the late 60s. And I think you just need to look out the window, as the judge says, to see what an incredible service Steve did to the city and to the citizens that live here.
Can you give us your first and last name? So I don't understand.
Robert Nelson.
Okay, and your title?
My title is
Your
Robert
connection.
Nelson.
Your connection. To
Stephen
you.
and I have been good friends since the 70s.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good day.